Welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. As you can see, we're doing a bit of a box opening. It's not the usual one because these aren't mine. My mate Mark across the road, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. He rebuilds cars and old British cars mainly. He's got an ambulance and a few other bits and pieces. And he's also rebuilding and making two, I don't think he'll mind me saying this, two full-size Daleks which are fully motorised. And he's bought this to help him with that. So I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. It's the Flying Squad, but I'll put a link in the show notes below. But he's asked me, do I want to do a box opening and review? So I went, well, of course I can. Now, would you be able to guess from the size of these two boxes what he bought? I was surprised when he turned up with these because I knew what it was. It's a cordless soldering iron, and it's boxed. So no one was expecting. So what we're going to do is, now I'm going to caveat on this one because I've not bought this. I've done no research into it. I'm going to do we're going to open it, see what you get, and we're going to do a test of the quality. We're going to do some test solders and things like that. And we'll see how good it is. I was going to do a comparison to my Ferrix one, but I don't think they're designed to do the same thing. They're designed to solder things together, obviously, but they're not designed to be used in the same way. So we're going to just do this on its own. I might just do I'll revert back to that later on. But anyway, you know what? I've waffled on enough. Let's get to the box opening and see exactly what we've got in here to justify these two massive boxes. Cheers. Okay, let's start with one of these. I think we'll go for the big box. I've reconfigured. You can see I've reconfigured my workshop to give me a bit more space. So I think we're going to go with the big box. So let's put this one down because I think that's the actual soldering iron, and I think we'll open this one because I think this might be its carry case. So let's have a look, see what we've got in here. So I'm not entirely sure what model and everything this is. I know it's a Milwaukee. I'm not Milwaukee because I know he's got other stuff like that. So hopefully share the batteries. I'm hoping this has come with a battery pack. So let me just. Oh yeah. Oh my word. Really? So right, we'll get rid of the box. It's a proper case, isn't it? That Milwaukee. I like that. And it's come with a couple of. Oh, that's really nice. That it's come with some foam inserts. So I'm assuming he's bought a generic case. Just have a quick open this up and have a look. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, is this stackable? Oh no, it's specific. I think it is specific for this one. Yeah. It is if you want the reference for it, an M12 BPRT-102X case. It's a Milwaukee standard HD carry case. So I get the feeling this is generic. Does this come out? And I think this generic sort of liner, it's just like a soft what do you call it, plastic, like a very thin molded plastic. So I get the feeling you'd be able to. I'm not sure how it fit in here. We'll have a play around with this. Seems to. I'm not sure what this would be for. We've got multiple recesses, but it looks like it will also come out. So I'm assuming these clips on the side are to allow you to stack it. So right, let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of this. Will that go in there? No. Let's get rid of this. I must admit, it's a pretty good quality case that. Let's just put that there for now, and we'll put that behind it. Right, let's get on to the star of the show. Right. So I don't know what model this is. We'll sort that in a minute. I'm going to do this. Okay. All right. There's quite a few bits in here, which is hopefully means it's come with a battery pack because I was a bit nervous. So let's lift this stuff out. Down there. So what have we got? We have got So we've got a right. So we've got the that's interesting. So we've got a Milwaukee M12 SI soldering iron. We'll open this in a minute. What I might do is trip over to the overhead so you get a bit closer when we open the box up. We've got an M12 2 amp hour battery, and I'm assuming in here is it's charging station. Again, an M12 charging station. There's no other real serial numbers on it, but I'll go through this in a minute. We do the overhead and some instructions, which they're going to be relatively straightforward. So let's get rid of this. So right, let's just have a look at what. So yeah, so I'm assuming he's bought the big case, so all this will slot into it. But the first thing I've noticed is it's got a directional tip on it, so you can bend it. Now that could come in really useful. Right. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll flip to the overhead, I think, and we can open these up and have a bit of a closer look. Okay, let's get to the main part of this. Right, so what we've got a an M12 Milwaukee charger. We've got a battery. We'll open this up first. What we're going to do first of all, we're going to see if there's any got charge in it because I want to be able to play it well. Okay, what have we got in here? So we've got a what's this? It's just a hanger. And we've got some instructions. I don't think we need too many instructions, so let's just have a quick look at what this is. So this is a M12 lithium batteries. Any more details on there? Two times more running time, 20 more power, 2 times more recharges, and it's a 2 amp hour. So it's got quite a bit of kick to it. An M12B2 if you're interested. So that's this. Does feel pretty well made. Well, it will be, won't it? Yeah. So there isn't much more information on here. It's just a oh, there we go. It's a 12 volt, 24 watt hour lithium battery, lithium ion battery. Yeah. Right. That's this obviously it's base charger, a C12C. What we'll do is we're gonna plug it in and see how much charge this thing's got in it, because I'm assuming there's not a charge button on this. It's built into the actual into this. So let's just see. That way we can do a review on this. We can get this charged. Oh, I hate these things. Pop this off. Put this over here. Turn that on. It goes in that way because there's a recess. Right then, let's have a look at the big piece of kit. So what have we got on here? We've got an M12 SI machine, that's soldering iron. Multiple angle tip on it, so you can do it 45 degrees and 90 degrees. I can see that coming really helpful if you're in an engine bay. Goes with the 400 degrees C, 60-minute battery life. Don't touch the end. It's got an LED. Again, that's pretty useful if you work in an engine bay. It's just shy of 300mm long. It's a 90 watt. Wow, that's pretty powerful. 90 watt. Battery indicator weighs 0.2 kilos, 200 grams. Well, is anything else? No, that's about the lot of it. Yep, all right, let's get it open. Well, big instruction book. We're probably going to have to look at that in a minute. Wow, 2 instruction books. Nothing but heavy duty. Yeah, I must admit. This gear should be pretty good. These are all the warnings on it in all different languages. That's all the tech data. Let's have a look here. Heating indicator. So I'll have a quick look at this in a minute. What we'll do is before we do a formal test, I'll go through this just to make sure how it works, because we're going to do some test solders on this as well. Right. So again, just some general. More languages. Wow. Okay, let's put those to one side for the moment. So what have we got? Oh, it's soldering tips are here. So first of all, we've got. So I'm assuming that comes off. Yeah, it's pretty. It's on and off. Click to return. So I'm assuming that's so you can leave it on. That's the battery indicators. We'll put a battery in a minute. Nice rubber grip. Really, you can get to that. Can you use it that way? Yeah. Obviously, most when you're soldering, you want to use it this way, so that's quite useful. Right then, how do we? That's the lock. You push that and turn. Oh, that's pretty easy. So lock to turn. That locks. Can you get your hands in there? You can. Can you get over the top? Yeah. That's the 9. That's the 45. Can you get in there? Yeah, I suppose you can, can't you? That's the on button. So you just press to turn and it locks into place. Right. So we've got soldering iron tips. We have 2 that is come with. A flat one for doing obviously much more bigger work, and a tip. I'm assuming that's more for doing general soldering work. So how is this clicking? Does this just? Does this unscrew? That's the heating element. Does that slide on there? That slide on there, and then that slide on. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? What I like, just simplicity. It's quite a nice piece of kit, isn't it? Oh, you can feel there's, a bit of engineering behind it. There's the light on the front. Right, you know what? Let's unplug that. Put this in. Does this come out easy enough? Yep, nice and easy. And that's the battery indicator. What's that do? So that's. Oh, I see. So every time you turn it, alright, when you turn it on, it tells you the battery indicator. So that's the battery indicator. We've got 2 lights there. That's when it's getting up to temperature. So assuming it'll go solid green when it's up to temperature. So let's see how long it takes. I would hope it's up to temperature in about 60 seconds. Yeah, but yeah, that was quick. Right. The only thing I've got on this is, yeah, you have to stand it up, aren't you, when you're not using it? Then again, God, that has got some heat coming off it. Right. That's telling me it's cooling down. So it needs, that's telling me it's cooling down. It's gone off temperature. Right. You know what? Let's get some soldering. Let's do some soldering tests. I'll get some thick and thinner wire because I think that's all. I think Mark's going to use it for. He's mainly for doing automotive soldering on engines, and say doing his Daleks and whatever else he gets up to. But I say Mark's more of a time-served mechanic. He has really good quality, proper. When he buys gear, he buys proper mechanics gear. To give you a comparison of, I was going to get the ferric one out. This is the soldering iron I have. You can see the difference in it. I can imagine this using this all day. Put a battery out, put a battery in. This ferrics one, which is only a 3.7 volt rather than a 12 volt. This rascal, you're going to do half an hour at most. Then you have to put it to one side for an hour to charge. This gets you out of a this is more of a hobbyist bit of kit to solder something up. Get you out of a jam. This, if you've got a big soldering job to do on an engine block or on anything, this is just going to last all day in it. And that pivoting head, I can see if you're getting into an engine block, there's not a lot of room. That's going to be really useful to get in. Whereas obviously, I know this isn't as long as that, but if you're trying to solder and try to get in and you've got bits in your way, this is going to be more difficult. Whereas this be able to attack it at different angles. So yeah, I'm quite I must admit I'm getting quite jealous about this. Anyway, right, let's go get set up. I'm going to read the instructions a little bit more so I don't do myself any misgivings while I'm using it, and then we'll get some soldering examples pulled together. I've got some thick wire, I've got some thin wire. We'll give it a go on both. Yeah, all right. Let me break out some more gear. Okay, so we're going to do some test runs on this. I've just charged this battery up. Took about 30 minutes, which is quite good. Got some standard wire. I put some of this liquid flux on it. I'm going to tin the end of this. And I've got some soldering. So this wire I've got here is pretty reasonable gauge wire I'd use in a car. It easily runs 12 volts. We're going to try some others afterwards, depending on how we get on with this one. So let's try that. So we're going to turn this on. So it's flashing full. You saw it there, full battery. It's flashing, so it's heating. And then we're going to tin the end of this, and then we'll see about soldering these. That's how easy. Bloody hell, that was quick. That really was quick. So, yeah. So I'm going to test to get some heat through this. To be fair, it's not a bad joint. That was pretty straightforward. Let's try something a little thinner. So it did sort of flow through. I'm quite happy with that. So I've got some of this really much thinner gauge. I know you'd normally tin these and then join the tinning together, but I'd rather try and show it as though. Yeah, that went straight through. I think that's because of that. Well, yeah, straight through. I got some. Right, we're going to try something a little bit thicker. I don't know how successful this is going to be. I think you'd normally use that flat one to do something like this, so it might take a while to get the heat through. I think what we're going to do is give this a little bit more effort, put some flux on the ends of it. Do the same with this one. I'm no expert in soldering, by the way. I do things that get me by. Again, these aren't tinned. We're going to see how much of this solder we'll get through. Right then. And again, still full temperature. So I'm going to try and melt some of this in the top, just feed it in. As I can imagine, getting the heat through this is going to be difficult. And I can hear yeah, you definitely need that flat edge one. I'm trying to let that solder through. It seems to have gone through quite well. Let's see if it's relatively. Yeah, I don't know wrong. It's not gone all the way through, but you can see it started running its way through. So it is pulling enough power at the 400 degrees. That's why it's gone really warm. That I don't think it'd been much to have to drop through. So that thing's really good in comparison. If I'd been using my little Ferrex one, the battery would have gone. There's no way it would have fed any sort of heat into this. No chance. It would have done these at a push, but nothing quick. Whereas that thing, and the fact that this is on permanently. Something else I noticed is it's got flat spots and angles, so it can't roll off. When you put it down, its tip's always off the ground as well. And again, that option where you can angle this so you can get into something you're working on a bit easier. Again, fantastic. So let's have a tidy up and we'll do a bit of a final run through, as well as I'll tell you what the price of everything is as well. Right, to a quick roundup of prices. So the Milwaukee M12 Soldering Iron. This I've found online for currently it's $69.99. That comes without the batteries. To get a battery and its charger, that's an additional $49.99. So we're going to call this setup here 120 quid. I've seen some sets with a small bespoke case for it, plastic case, in total for $137.99. And this much bigger case, well, that's fitted in there, separately, so was about 19-20 quid. So for this setup, it's about £140. Looking at that, and I'd say this is, you can't really compare this to the little Ferrex one I've got. This is for someone who needs to solder all day. You can change the batteries out, recharge, and keep on going. Not someone who wants to do like a little bit of repair here and a little bit of repair there. This is designed for someone to be using almost constantly. And I must admit that little function there, I think, is going to become will be so useful. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Really do like it, I must admit. It's a nice piece of kit. It's an expensive piece of kit, but it is a nice piece of kit. Big thanks to Mark for letting me do a box opening on it and an initial review. Yeah, it is a really nice piece of kit, and if you're doing soldering a lot for work and you need something to just go to and it's just going to work straight away. I mean, that thing heated up ridiculously quick and it stayed hot. A lot of the cordless soldering irons, like the one I've got, as soon as you take your finger off the sensor on the side, it cuts the power to save the battery power, obviously, which means you've got to then wait for it to reheat up to resolder again. So it's not efficient on time, that one. Whereas this thing stays on like it will be a normal plug-in one. I can imagine that 12-volt battery when it says it'll last an hour. I can see this lasting an hour, and that battery charged up from virtually nothing to full in about 30 minutes. So, you know, you're back in the game pretty quick. So anyway, that's my initial thoughts on that. But big thanks again to Mark for letting me have a play with these new toys. You made it this far. Thanks for watching. So just before I sign off completely, that carry case, I've just tried to put everything in it, and it looks like it's not a generic one. It's not for the soldering iron. It looks like it's for a cordless riveter that's in the same sort of M12 tool system. It seems to be for that specifically. So obviously I'll mention it to him when I drop it off. Say either you need to change it, or because it's like a soft plastic inside it, I have no doubt he'll rip that out because he's got other Milwaukee tools and he can keep them all together in one place, or he'll modify it to suit. So just as a highlight, that big case that I referenced before is not for this, specifically for this soldering iron. If you go through the one I mentioned in which it came as a kit, that one is. Anyway, if you have made it this far, thanks for watching again. Cheers.